And good morning to you. Now the Texas primary election trickling in onto Wednesday. It has certainly been a long day, but we are still here with you along with our team. It's good to be with you. I'm Henry Ramos.
And I'm Alicia Nieves. We're tracking major races around the state and here in Bexar County.
Bexar County numbers, they have been slowly trickling in the last 5 hours since the polls closed at 7. We've only received updates about 3 different times. That latest update just coming in about 11:43, which is why we are coming on the air on KENS 5 Plus to get you the latest results.
So we're keeping our word. We are tracking those numbers as they come in. So this is the most high profile, one of them, most high profile races in Bexar County, the race for Bexar County Judge. So incumbent Peter Sakai being challenged by former San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg.
And it looks like Ron Nirenberg securing that Democratic nomination with 62% of the vote, with the incumbent Peter Sakai 38% of the vote. Nirenberg will face the Republican Patrick Von Dolan in November. Let's take a listen to what both candidates had to say tonight.
We didn't just win a primary. We committed to fixing a broken justice system. We resolved that everyone should have access to quality health care, regardless of their zip code. And we agreed that no one should have to choose between a roof over their head and food on the table. We've come a long way, but our job is definitely not done. We still have to win an election in November.
So make no mistake about it. I will continue to stand up to the bullies, so to speak, for the people of Bexar County. We will continue to defend the Constitution. We will continue to pass policies that lower costs and renew the spirit and the promises of the American dream. The campaign may be over, but our work does not slow down, and neither will we.
Moving now to the district attorney race. Current DA Joe Gonzalez is not seeking re-election after 8 years in office.
So we start with the Democrats looking to replace him. As we've been mentioning since yesterday, many of these candidates have either worked or currently work in the DA's office, and it looks like that this race, it's well to say that it's headed to a runoff with Jane Davis, as you can see there, with 18% of the vote, and then Luz Elena Chapa as the top candidate there, receiving 24% of the vote. They will face, after the May primary runoff, either which candidate will then face the lone Republican candidate, that being Ashley Foster. And another race headed for a runoff tonight. I think, Alicia, as you mentioned, that's going to be the theme, right, for this election cycle in the primaries. This one's a big one. It's the Republican race for U.S. District 23. Incumbent Tony Gonzalez facing off against challenger Brendan Herrera in May.
And the two have faced each other in a runoff before, so there's history between these two candidates. The difference, 400 votes in the last runoff election. And so this time around, there's a dark cloud over this race. You maybe have heard the stories about recent allegations of an affair between Gonzalez and his staffer who died by suicide in Uvalde, and reports of lewd text messages sent by the congressman to that same woman. Gonzalez has denied any wrongdoing.
And just by looking at those numbers tonight, 43% for each candidate, looks like just hundreds of votes, again, separating those two. And I will say it doesn't look like that either one of them had a watch party tonight, but we've been monitoring their social media accounts to get the reaction. But of course, we'll keep following that.
On the Democratic side, 4 challengers are hoping to flip this seat to blue. And it looks like Katie Padilla Stout, she is the projected winner tonight, 52% of the vote.
And Ms. Stout is a former teacher as well as a San Antonio native, so we'll see how that goes in November. But it looks like she may be looking to secure that nomination to head to November to face. Again, we'll have to wait for the primary on the Republican side. The other big race is the one for U.S. Senate, and there's been a lot of drama around this one on both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats. But the incumbent, John Cornyn, being challenged by 7 Republicans for the seat that he has held since 2002. 24 years. And among the challengers, a well-known name, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. So here's a look at those results. And it looks like that, well, for sure, these two will be going to a runoff in May between Cornyn and Paxton.
And you mentioned about the watch parties not happening. One of our fellow reporters from our sister station in Dallas For the first time, I'm willing to bet since he has been in office, Cornyn did not have a traditional watch party tonight because he's anticipating that runoff, and it is likely going to be the toughest race in his time in this position yet. So we will keep an eye on that. We also have two big names on the Democratic side.
This campaign is bigger than one person. It's about the future of Texas and the future of our great country, America. As Attorney General, I've won 3 elections, and I've won those general elections because I've focused on uniting our party. We still have an important runoff ahead, no doubt, but I think everyone in this room, everyone in Texas, and everyone in Washington knows where this is headed. I will be the Republican nominee, and we must stay focused.
I've worked for decades to build the Republican Party, both here in Texas and nationally. I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build over these many years. There is simply too much at stake in this midterm election for our state and for our country.
Those are some strong words between the two right there. And Elise, you think of the amount of money that is funneled into both of those campaigns. It is not over with that side. On the Republican side, it's certainly only going to get more heated in the coming months. Again, the runoff between Cornyn and Ken Paxton.
And so this race alone is not only one of the most closely watched races in Texas, but across the nation, thanks in large part also to these two candidates, two big names on the Democratic side looking to replace John Cornyn. We have State Representative James Tallarico, who has earned 53% of the vote so far tonight, more than 1 million votes trickling in, and Jasmine Crockett, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, with 46%. And there has been a lot of drama, you could say, around this race, the Democratic side in particular tonight.
Let's take a listen to both candidates who spoke tonight.
The polls were supposed to stay open until 9, according to a court order. The Supreme Court, just a few minutes ago, just said shut it down. The Supreme Court also said that they are to separate any votes out that came in after 7 p.m.
We are still waiting for an official call, but we are confident in this movement we've built together. Every vote must be counted. Every voice must be heard. The voter suppression in my home county and in Congresswoman Crockett's home county underscores the gravity of this moment.
And our team working hard because State Representative James Tallarico just spoke to his crowd of supporters well after midnight. And as you mentioned, he didn't necessarily declare victory, saying that there's still votes that needed to be counted. There was a lot of drama in Dallas tonight, and of course, courts getting involved, so time will tell. But those two very close, so we'll see on the Democratic side how that's going to map out. Why this race is so critical? Because Democrats are looking to flip 4 Senate seats in November to take control from Republicans.
Taking a look at the race for Texas Attorney General. Again, we had Ken Paxton leaving this office to pursue a seat on the U.S. Senate. So we have 4 Republicans going for this office.
And this one looks like it will definitely be going to a runoff between Congressman Chip Roy, who represents Texas's 21st district. That, of course, includes San Antonio and much of the Hill Country. And he will be in a runoff with Mays Middleton, who is the leader from the primary tonight on the Republican side with 40% of the vote. And the challenge on the other side for the Democrats, if we can take a look at those numbers, and it looks like that Mr. Johnson there securing about 48% of the vote, Nathan Johnson, and then Joe Jaworski with 27% of the vote. And then, of course, Anthony Tony Box with 25%. Those two have been very close, but Nathan Johnson with a very much of a lead there throughout the night. But remember, these candidates need to have 50% of the vote in order to avoid a runoff. Now let's get to the race for Texas governor. Greg Abbott facing a total of 19 challengers when you look at both sides of the aisle as he looks to secure a 4th term.
Governor Abbott will move on to the November race. 82% of the vote, which really didn't come as much of a surprise tonight. Listen in as he spoke with his supporters technically last night.
Thank you for the resounding victory. Thank you for making me your nominee to be your next governor for the great state of Texas. Listen, what we've done, you heard Derek and Cassie talk about it. What we've done is really just deliver common sense.
And here is a look at who Governor Abbott will likely face, or who will face. It looks like we have that check mark there. Gina Hinojosa of Austin with 60% of the vote. She will be on the November ballot. She has been maintaining her lead throughout the night. This really wasn't that much of a contest. So we will see the two facing off. By the way, the last time a Democrat was in the governor's seat in Texas was in 1995.
And we did speak with Gina earlier today. I just want to mention what she said. She says that she feels great for the show of support. And this is quoting Gina Hinojosa. She says, "I love that people have been in this fight with me for public schools, working families. They showed up. They supported me. They know that together we can win. And I am ready," she says, in terms of facing Governor Abbott, which is a big uphill battle for her in November. Again, we appreciate you for being with us. We know it is at 12:25 on Wednesday, but we wanted to make sure along here at KENS 5 with our team in the back doing a lot of great work, making sure that you had the most up-to-date and latest numbers. It is a lot on this primary election, and we are not done.
It is not over yet. The numbers are still coming in from the Bexar County Elections Department, and we will still be keeping track of those numbers throughout the night. Check KENS5.com for the live numbers that will be coming in from both the local races and the state races.
And of course, our morning team, along with that team, they're trickling in right now to get you ready. So starting at 4:30 on KENS 5 and KENS 5 Plus, they will have the latest results and they will carry you through till 9 in the morning as well on KENS 5 Plus. But if you don't want to wait, I know it's been impatient. You know, Sue Calberg warned us to have patience because it was going to take some time to get these results specifically for Bexar County. KENS5.com, as Alicia mentioned, is your best friend.
And thanks to all who voted. Have a good night.